This is Simon with Game Distiller, and I'm here on the floor of RTX 2016 with Ms. Erin Wayne.
Hi.
Community Director at Twitch, and you can find her online at Twitter and also her gamer tag, Aurelian, with a Y.
Yes, with a Y in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So first of all, this is such an awesome setup, you guys.
Thank you.
Clearly learned some lessons from having your own con, you know, and setup and placement and
This is actually the booth that travels with us to every convention. So we have the same booth set up at E3 and at PAX here at RTX. The only difference is that normally, you know, we're in this drop right here, which is like our casting desk. And we have a really cool photo booth on the other side that's usually live content. So we'll have interviews with game publishers and everyone from like indie devs to Nintendo to whoever, Disney, all of that happens on the stage. So we're trying something out a little different here at RTX, but it's a great booth.
Yeah, for sure. It's really awesome. So I just wanted to, you know, something else you guys are doing at RTX 2016 for the first time is Twitch is responsible for streaming every single panel.
Yes.
And putting it up on Twitch for everyone to see, which is awesome. Yeah. And it really marks kind of part of a trend for Twitch, moving away from just being a service for people to stream games and people to watch people streaming games. You're doing original content like Twitch Weekly.
Yep.
As I just mentioned, you guys have hosted your own con, TwitchCon, right? And now, as you can see around us, Scene of Action Music is actually doing a music broadcast. You guys are moving into that as well.
Yeah, he's doing a concert from his own home.
So, knowing that the internet has certain responses to things they like changing, how has the community's response been so far to all of this branching out?
Yeah, I think one of the great things about Twitch is that, you know, we started off as Twitch, the gaming platform, right? And then from there, we realized that a lot of people had passions that were related to gaming but weren't gaming. You know, we had people that were drawing art and doing 3D animations, and they were, you know, doing perler beads of Mario characters. And so we were like, hey, this is like a thing we should take on. And that's how our Twitch Creative launched, because it was a need from the people that were on our site. And then from creative, people were like, oh, well, I want to bake a cake, and that's creative. And so that's kind of how we launched the cooking aspect of it. And so Twitch has all these wonderful categories. The Twitch Plays category launched from Twitch Plays Pokemon, which was created from our community. And so the things that we've done on our site have all been community driven. And so the response has always been really great, because we've taken lead from what people are naturally doing on our site anyway, and finding a home that's specific to what they wanted to do. So all of the things that we're doing and launching on Twitch all come from requests and needs and uses of our community team.
Okay, awesome. And you talked a little bit about trying to find that organic development where there are really pockets of enthusiasm for something that just isn't there yet. Yeah. So kind of just winding back a little bit, Twitch is descended from Justin TV, which was a very general streaming site. And that Twitch, you know, really took off and separated itself, and then Justin TV folded. Now, as Twitch moves back into other categories, what kind of lessons are you taking from Justin TV to make sure that all of this growth continues to be sustainable?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we've learned, especially from Justin, is that Justin launched, and the reason why Twitch launched is because we realized that all of these people were on Justin doing gaming, and we thought, wow, the majority of our content is gaming content. Maybe we should give them their own home, right? Yeah. And so starting from that first kind of branch out where we were like, you know what, this should be its own separate thing. It should be its own entity and its own website. We're still continuing that trend. And so the growth that we're doing and the movement into, you know, music or creative or any of that is all driven not by what we want the platform to be, but what the community is asking for us, right? So we've launched all kinds of things. We now have social eating because, and not just North America, but globally, we have partners in, you know, we call it APAC, which is like Asia Pacific, and that's a huge cultural thing there. And so we were like, you know what, we should really support those people and launch this, you know, category to support everyone globally. And so we're not just looking at what we want to do, at our headquarters in San Francisco, or what we want to do in our office, but what our users are looking to do globally and all around the world.
Awesome. And speaking of the community, from this really rich and vibrant community, there have come really tremendous personalities.
Yes.
For example, like former achievement hunter and current Twitch superstar Ray Narvaez Jr. Brown Man.
Yeah.
And so on a personal basis, kind of to support the rise of these personalities, what has Twitch done to help them manage their channels, manage their following, their content, and evolve and adapted?
So it's a really interesting thing, right? 10 years ago, nobody knew that we were going to be able to make a living by playing video games in our own homes. Esports obviously saw a rise even further back than 10 years ago, but who thought you would be able to sit in your house and play video games and make a living from it? And just like an athlete would sell sponsorships to whatever major brand, our broadcasters are doing the same thing. And so not only do we have tools like our moderation tools, or we have our partner help team, which helps answer any questions that they may have, we also have our own sales teams that's like reaching out and helping them secure different activations, and we actively work with them to grow themselves outside of just broadcasting. We have our relationship with Teespring, and so they can launch their own apparel and they can kind of brand themselves and get out their creativity that way. And so we're helping them diversify what they can do. They can leave VODs on Twitch, and they can change thumbnails and kind of keep that stationary content on our website as well. So it's evolved just from gaming live and broadcasting live to being able to have a plethora of ways that they can monetize this and support their careers.
Sure. There's just been a commotion to our right because, speak of the devil, Ray Narvaez has just walked by us. That's tremendous. Yeah. Funny how those things work out. And so, just moving on to the next thing, it is still a platform. It's a very easy to use platform, and it's really versatile. And so, a lot of media outlets have just started using Twitch because to develop a proprietary streaming system or to pay someone to set something up can be really expensive. How are you kind of managing, a lot of this more commercial aspect instead of just a guy in a room in his house, and you have actually these entire media setups with their entire equipment and load?
So one of the beauties of Twitch is that we allow people to set up their stations and their home units however they want to set it up, right? Which means that it can be down to a guy turning on his Xbox and just telling his Connect to go live, and he's streaming, to these big production. I was just in the Geek and Sundry office like a week and a half ago helping them, and they have a studio with sets and lights, and they use very expensive equipment, and they have all of this done. And we're helping support them in the technical needs of like what settings should we use, how does TriCaster work, and what can we do. So we have people to answer those questions as well. But the beauty of it is it's really up to you to set that up how best fits your needs, and making sure that Twitch is available in a variety of different ways, from the Xbox all the way up to the expensive TriCasters, so that you have as many options to stream as you can.
Yeah, and speaking of Brown Man, I want to talk about the next Brown Man.
Yeah.
Someone who is streaming dutifully in his room right now, but hasn't reached that next place. And with success comes imitation. There have been a lot of competitors to Twitch that have arisen, namely YouTube Gaming. How has Twitch tried to reach out to and nurture personalities, really make sure that they feel supported, to stay ahead of the curve and really remain the market player?
Yeah, so when somebody at Twitch, whether they're a partnered broadcaster or they're a broadcaster themselves, we have tons of support forums and staff members and people that can reach out and answer any questions that they have. We talked earlier about the different options that Twitch gives to partners to help monetize in a variety of different ways to support their careers. But I think one of the beauties is that anybody can do this, right? Like anyone that's on the show floor here, all the attendees could start broadcasting, become the next Brown Man or become the next person. And so we do the best that we can to make sure that people have the tools that they need to be successful, whether that's forming partnerships with companies to make sure that technology is available and it's being updated, or whether that's making sure that we have enough ingest servers to make sure that everybody's got great access to our Twitch network, or oh my gosh, everything from staff members that are there just to answer questions and support people and make sure that they've got all of the questions that they need answered. So I really feel like we've taken a different stance among many of the other platforms that are out there, in that we do try to have that one-on-one personal connection with the broadcasters and the partners that we have, to make sure that there's never a time where they need something and they just can't get it. We're active on our forums, we're active on our Twitter, we're constantly talking about the next latest and greatest thing that we're coming up with, to make sure that people know that, hey, we're here for you, and we're making sure that the things that you want, we're building, and the questions that you have, we're answering.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to leave it there.
Yeah.
And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for stopping by.